Welcome to Top 10 Archive. From droughts, tsunamis, and powerful hurricanes and earthquakes, in this video we will look at the top 10 most costly natural disasters in recorded history. All prices have been adjusted for 2014 and are translated to American US dollars. Number 10. The 2010 Chile Earthquake. In 2010, an earthquake took place just off the coast of central Chile on February 27th. The quake was categorized as an 8.8 on the moment magnitude scale. After the initial rumble, the earth was left shaking from aftershocks for some 3 minutes. This disaster is regarded as the sixth largest earthquake to ever be recorded by a seismograph and could be felt by 6 Chilean regions, which make up 80% of the country's population. Although the numbers vary, the 2010 Chilean earthquake is believed to have cost the country's economy around $16 to $32 billion in damages. Number 9. The 1994 Northridge Earthquake. The 1994 Northridge Earthquake devastated parts of Southern California on January 17th of that year. The quake was centered in Reseda, a neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley and not far from Los Angeles. Although it lasted a short 15 seconds or so, this disaster proved to be fatal and measured as a 6.7 on the moment magnitude scale. Strong ground rumbles and vibrations were felt as far away as Las Vegas, Nevada, which is more than 220 miles or 354 kilometers away. Property damage alone cost the U.S. economy an estimated $32 billion, making it one of the most expensive natural disasters in the country's history. Number 8. Hurricane Andrew. The storm Hurricane Andrew occurred in August of 1992, and at the time of its devastation became the costliest hurricane in United States history. Andrew was the fourth tropical cyclone and the first hurricane of the season, originating from a tropical wave over the central Atlantic. Increasingly favorable, or in this case unfavorable, conditions allowed the disaster to be categorized as a tropical storm on August 17th. 6 days later, its title then changed yet again to a minimal hurricane. With its strength increasing, it became a Category 5 hurricane and made landfall in the Bahamas, changed directions and headed for Florida, then continued down the Gulf Coast until finally losing momentum. The 170 mile per hour or 273 kilometers per hour winds caused an estimated $52 billion loss to the United States economy. Number 7. Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy was the deadliest and most destructive storm of the 2012 hurricane season. It is also the second costliest in U.S. history, right behind Katrina. Although it was nothing compared to other Category 5 hurricanes, Sandy covered an unbelievable large amount of land and disrupted millions of people's lives along the East Coast. At the peak of its intensity, when the storm was just passing Cuba, it weighed in as a Category 3 hurricane. On October 22, 2012, 6 hours after being declared a tropical wave, it was quickly upgraded to tropical storm. Hurricane Sandy killed 286 people in 7 countries and cost the United States an estimated $70 billion in damage. Number 6. The Great Sichuan Earthquake of 2008. The Great Sichuan Earthquake of China occurred on May 12, 2008 in the Sichuan province of the country. It weighed in as an 8 on the moment magnitude scale. This quake was so powerful that it was felt in Beijing and Shanghai along with other surrounding countries. Office buildings and other structures more than 1,000 miles or 1,600 kilometers away from its origin swayed due to the tremors and aftershocks carried along the crust. What's interesting about the Sichuan quake is that these aftershocks even occurred up to several months after the initial hit. One of them measured as a 6 on the moment magnitude scale and caused new casualties and damage. Reportedly, this disaster cost China $83 billion in losses. Number 5. The 1988 North American Drought. The North American drought of 1988 ranks high up there as one of the worst natural heartaches the United States had battled as a nation. With inflation, the drought has cost the country $120 billion in damages. This drought caused a dust bowl in the Midwest much like the one experienced in the 1930s, but not quite as bad. During the spring months, weather forecasters made comments regarding the records that had been set that year, such as lowest monthly total precipitation and longest interval between a measurable amount of rain. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, not a drop of rain was felt for 55 days straight. These heat waves and droughts led to many forest fires, including the Yellowstone National Park forest fire incident. Number 4. Hurricane Katrina. Early on the morning of August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina made landfall near the Gulf Coast. At this time, it was a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale, but later peaked to a Category 5. The storm brought winds over 100 miles per hour or 161 kilometers per hour that stretched across the state of Louisiana for 400 miles or 644 kilometers. Streets soon became deadly public swimming pools, and the federal government was under much scrutiny for their poor and slow initial response. Hundreds of thousands of people living in the Southeast were displaced, and it is believed that Katrina added $131 billion in damages to the United States debt. Number 3. The 1980 heat wave. The 1980 United States heat wave was a period of intense heat and drought which crippled the Midwest agricultural industry, among other things. It is among some of the more deadly natural disasters to occur within the U.S. by means of death and destruction to businesses. Statistics show that around 1,700 people lost their lives because of dehydration and overexposure to the sun. The GNP, which stands for Gross National Product Index, shows that this event cost the nation an estimated $144 billion in damages, most of which were crop loss. Number 2. The Hanshin Earthquake of 1995. The Hanshin Earthquake occurred on January 17, 1995, in the southern part of Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. This quake measured 6.8 on the moment magnitude scale and had tremors that lasted for approximately 20 seconds. On this terrible day, over 6,000 Japanese citizens lost their lives due to falling debris and things of that nature. Of the major cities affected by this disaster, Kobe was the one most directly hit by the quake. In total, this disaster cost the government of Japan $156 billion in damages. Number 1. The 2011 Tsunami. The 2011 earthquake off the Pacific coast of Tohoku was a magnitude 9 on the moment magnitude scale. The scientific term for this quake is an undersea megathrust, which means the origin of this quake was approximately 19 miles or 30 kilometers underwater, and sent a tsunami shooting towards the shore at unbelievable speeds, wiping out anything in its path. Since modern record-keeping of earthquakes in 1900, this one measured as the fourth most powerful to be recorded. The tsunami triggered was an estimated 133 feet or 40.5 meters high. The Japanese National Police Agency reported a death toll of over 15,000 lives. The 2011 Japanese earthquake also cost Japan a total of $317 billion when all factors of destruction are considered. Like these top 10 videos? Subscribe by clicking the annotation here and give our video a like. Have an idea for a future top 10? Leave a comment in the section below.